And for potentially the last time today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the ESL One New York closed qualifiers for North America. We have one slot up for grabs, and it's either going to be Rise Nation or Cloud9 taking control of it. We're jumping into our second map here now. Cloud9 took dominant control over the first map with a 16-3 final scoreline on Cobblestone. And now we go over to Cloud9's own map pick. Now we're going to see if Rise has any hope of all at bringing it back to a third and final map. Let's get into it now and see what exactly is going to be happening here. Cloud9 will start off on the T side since this is their map pick, and Rise Nation is going to be jumping onto the CT side.
It also has double molly and smokes.
So going for the dual utility there, instead of just having the one player that you normally see buying up towards it. The one molly going to be used pretty early on here. One of the smokes being utilized as well. In fact, pretty much all that utility is going to get tossed out right from the start. Stewie saves one molly for when they actually get into the site, I believe, but that's it. Other than that, they've used everything just to get through mid without having to deal with any response. And now they're into the site. They're going to go for some of these initial kills if they can. Rise gambled and had quite a few players stacked over towards B, and because of that, now they're going to be outwitted. But look at this, Dazzle in mid, getting the 2 headshots there. Quick kills for him. Ace picking up 2 as well. It's just on Swag now, and he goes down to Dazzle as well. That's quick control from Rise again in the initial pistol round, as they're going to take the start 1-0.
Yeah, Ace and Dazzle getting 3 and 2 apiece. And they get that opening pistol. So let's see if they can get the anti-eco. I assume that C9 will probably just save and then buy the next.
Yeah, they managed to get the plant there. So we do have 2 flashbys coming out from Stewie, but I think that's pretty much it. Maybe 1 smoke on 1 player. So they're basically just going to try to shock value their way into one of the 2 sites, and there's the smoke on Rush, and hope that they can get the plant just off of the pure chaos of them all rushing into the site at once, but you see other teams utilize that too. Rush will line up the smoke, Stewie's got the flashbang pop coming out on the top to defend it, while VSA and Dazzle further back. Dazzle's kind of exposed right now, but it changes that, gets into a better position. So VSA down below and Dazzle from back at Ticket. They're going to try to stop this plant from happening. If Cloud9 get it, they'll have great utility going into the next one, and it's basically as if they were to save that additional round and going for the full buy on the 4th round. If they don't get it, they will probably force buy on the 3rd round regardless. It's just that they're going to be missing a few key pieces of utility. Taking it slow though on the build up here, not going right into the site. After some delay, the flash does move back in. VSA able to hold for 1. Tarek trades that back out. Dazzle pushing back, though. He's not going to challenge the plant. Oh, he does move out at the last second. Denies the plant there. And now only 2 remain here from Cloud9. They really need to take down Dazzle, but they can't get rid of him. He's up to 3 kills already in this round, and it's all on Rush. So no plant is going to be seen from Cloud9. Rush trying to sneak off that additional kill into Dazzle, but pushed even further into the corner at lower Tetris there. Jonesy is going to take him down with his USP, and there's the second pickup for Rise.
Yeah, that was a good denial by Dazzle to deny the plant. And he's already sitting on 6 kills, so he's starting out strong.
The key player to prevent that plant from happening. So like we said before, here comes the buy from Cloud9. Stewie buys down over onto a Galil so they can get an extra smoke and molly built up into the stack, but for what they have, they've already used quite a bit of it, down to just 2 smokes on Tarek and Stewie. They use the safety smoke in mid so that they can safely go up across, get themselves up towards Cat, but they lose 1 player in the process of picking up that early kill. Ace, though, taking a bit of a risky move, the dry peek out into mid with a scout. Doesn't reply to any of the members of Cloud9 there with a shot of his own, and just gets dropped down to 20 HP for that peek. So not the greatest trade in that situation. Cloud9, though, with that mid control, are hesitantly getting ready for the push on towards A.
And Dazzle's coming in on the flank as well.
So he's going to be pushing up through top mid, the potential to find Stewie in a moment. But Stewie's pretty well hidden in that window room there. So it's going to be pretty difficult to spot any sort of pressure in mid itself. And now Rise, I imagine, is actually probably going to get a little bit confused about as to how the situation is going to probably play out. Even Dazzle now falling back, I think, towards T-spawn. He's probably going to try to lurk more towards the ramp once he sees the bomb, actually pushing into the site. Rush moves in. They start the execute off here. No CT resistance at all, except a little bit from Ticket. VSA not even really trying to challenge this too much. He's paying attention to the steps to see if he can catch anyone there. There we go. Finds one on Tetris. Skadoodle goes down. They cancel the plant so that Rush can get that quick trade. And now Spike falls back a little bit further into Palace after he's been hit. Finally committing to the plant here. They'll be able to go for that, but here comes Dazzle's flank. He pushes in, puts down Rush, brings this down to a 3v2. Swag having to burst out, trying to trade over towards Ace, but they're not able to really find it there. He's still going to stay alive at the 20 HP. Cloud9 push back in here now. Swag is going to drop down, looking for the kill into Dazzle, but Dazzle holds again. Another double kill for him. He's going to look for the triple in a second if he can get it, as Ace is still stuck in the corner. But now Janji helps out from Connector. He's able to take down Stewie, knocking him out of the round, and it's the 3-0 start from Rise, including the first gun round.
Yeah, that trade kill on VSA at spawn delayed long enough so that Dazzle could get the flank and deny the plant, and then it left Stewie in an awkward 1v3.
It's going to be all 5 from Cloud9 this time on the first round, pushing in towards the back of the B bomb site. Moose also sitting over here inside the apartment's position. He's going to be waiting. Tosses the nade out there, and Cloud9, well, they're going to be held back for a few moments here, so they don't really have any utility or anything to contest what's going on in the apartments right now. They, for most of their players, I think are going to end up, well, just 3 of them right now, but they still got 2 more sitting behind them they can try to push in with. Specifically Tarek, trying to take a little bit of a duel there. Doesn't get much done, just does some damage to Junji, bringing him down to 25 HP. And back out over here in mid, well, it's probably going to be Dazzle to take the duel first. Dazzle, man, just always the right person in the right place at the right time, it seems. He's leading at 8-0 right now for his team. It's been a huge part of the reason why Rise has won these first couple of rounds. He's the target for Cloud9 to knock out here, and he's actually having a little bit of trouble against Swag. Over to the pistol, but he still completes the kill. And it's not just him that gets frags this time either. Ace picking up 1. Stewie was able to trade for 1 frag over here on Cloud9, and now they picked up a rifle to play with. Moose going 1-for-1 over there, but Dazzle rotating in, picks up 1 more. He's got the AK in hand to finish off the round. Another 3K for him, and he's already up to 11.
Yeah, but Cloud9 didn't put anything into that round, so this round we'll see a full buy from them. And no ops on their side, so 5 rifles. Maybe a fast connector play again.
Cloud9 are going to split their player base up once more, same as Rise. Rise actually going to play pretty heavy in mid this round. They not only have Ace there with the op, trying to take pot shots, but Dazzle is able to support from connector too. Moose, however, also comes in on Cat and is able to assist with the situation. He's able to take down Tarek. Ace is going to... Oh, almost looking like he was going to fall back over to the B site, but he canceled that move at the last second. I'm not sure if he heard Stewie or something like that, but the smoke goes into window room, so it's going to make it impossible for him to really see much there anyway. CT's great response time, though. Just as Stu was getting ready to push up those steps, the molly came in, so that's going to delay Cloud9 for a couple of extra seconds here. Still having plenty of time, of course, so it's not a huge deal. But with Junji inside, he's going to be trying his best to listen out and see exactly how they're making this play happen. The CT that tried to push out down T ramp, Swag takes out VSA there. And Dazzle's going to try to do the same thing. They've already countered it once, and Swag's already looking, trying to see if he can catch it again. He heard the footsteps. He knows Swag's out here somewhere. He's trying to time it properly so he can walk right up, get the free kill to the back, and that's exactly what happens. Now, the pressure goes on to Moose. He knows there's a play coming back in, picks up 1. As he spotted the others, he's going to try to molly, but that molly's coming in way too late. They'll just push right past that. And no, actually, Junji cuts off Rush right as the molly goes onto the ground. And Skadoodle is the only other player left at this point. He is going to try to flash his way into the site, gets 1 kill, rips apart Junji, but tagged by the op through the wall, down at 17 HP now. Moose pushes him, finishes off the round, and with that double op setup, it's another round for Rise Nation. Dazzle still yet to die, by the way, at 12-0 right now.
Yeah, the double op's looking like the answer for Rise. VSA gets caught off guard, but then Dazzle with the re-aggression. That was good instinctual play by him.
Cloud9 just onto these pistols. 4 Tech 9s and a P250 for Stewie. This is starting to look a lot more like the Rise that we were seeing back in the CLG set. Aggressive plays, dominant stances, and huge individualistics that allow
looking like a wall of smokes at B as well.
To win out these rounds. Moose has got this position, though. He's going to be ready for this push into the site. In fact, he could multi-frag here in a big way. He's got 1. Knows there's more on the way, but he gets flashed out, so he does have to fall back. It's going to put the pressure back on the player playing it. Get right, and there's another pickup for Moose. Junji take out another one, too, but good swing from Skadoodle. He's able to strafe his way into the site, where he picks up not just 1, but 2 kills against both Moose and Junji. It's left down to Skadoodle. He's got his weapon of choice, the op in hand. He's going to try to play it aggressively. That molly's still in the way, though, so it's going to make it a bit more difficult for him to play it out. But over to the window, looks for 1, the quick scope in on the VSA, and now he's got this down to a 1v2. Over to Cat for another one, and just 1 remains for the ace here for Skadoodle. Can he pull it off, or is Ace himself going to deny the ace? That would be irony in itself. But Ace is so scared right now. Playing inside of Market, he does not want to take the direct challenge against Skadoodle. He's left him out in the site. He's waiting for the plant noise to be able to make the move, but Skadoodle on the other side saw him peeking. He knows for sure he's in there now. All he's got to do is line up for the shot and close out here. He's hoping he'll peek door. But at the moment, Ace looking much more over here towards the window. Ace does not want to make that move, and I mean, Skadoodle's wasted a lot of time here. That's the only key, but the peek comes out. Both players miss. Skadoodle's going to use this opportunity as a chance to go for the planter, at the very least fake it. Smoke from the CT. It's a good play from Ace so far. Skadoodle finally committing as Ace tries to lurk around him and even trades out the op to go over to an M4 now. Skadoodle still expecting him to flank left side. That's not the case. And Ace now is going to walk up. Skadoodle has managed to dodge him for right now. I'm not sure if he saw him peeking a moment ago, but moving in, catches him, and he denies the ace. Nicely done from Ace. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, definitely. That was a good try by Skadoodle. Like you said, he got the op, like his gun of choice, and picked them all apart.
And off of that, Ace will be able to save an op for himself. Moose also picking up that secondary op. Rise, even with the 4 losses there, can still easily buy back into it. Also, should note the first death finally for Dazzle going up onto the board. Ace also with only 1 death so far too. Obviously a little bit lower on the scoreboard, but these Rise Nation guys players are resilient. They're very hard to take down. And you can see an example of that right there. Ace, so patient too. That's really the credit you have to give there. Normally, especially in North America, if you watch the difference between like NA and EU games, normally EU players are going to be a lot more patient in that situation. But a lot of times in NA matches, like the CT in that situation would go for it or when you look at the amount of time that was spent with Ace just sitting in market. But he waited that full duration. He was patient enough to wait to get himself into a position.
He played that like flawlessly.
And it was really well played out from Ace there to be able to deny that and prevent what was basically a 1v5 from Skadoodle. He almost pulled it off. Props to Skadoodle, of course, but also very well played from Ace. Most players in North America wouldn't have the patience to do that.
Yeah, and a lot of pressure on Ace as well, so. Alright, he's getting the opening pick on Stewie. Looks like they're just grouping up at A. Gonna do a standard A hit. They have 1 smoke though.
Well, they are going to start to move up over here towards the A site now and begin the execution. VSA sits on the CT firebox side here. And he's got Junji supporting him a little bit further back towards Ticket there. Flashbang goes in. Actually, just hold Rush for a moment here. They're trying to check I think Rush is trying to check VSA's spot. Yep, he spots him out. Takes him down there. Good push from Rush. Dazzle over peaks. He only gets 1. That's the site pretty much under the control of C9. They do have Junji still in position, but I mean, Junji's just sat back here the whole time. That's the problem. Now, though, he's going to strike just when he's needed. Jumps up, takes down Rush, and knocks him out. And there's only 8 seconds left to get the plant. Now, Moose takes down Skadoodle. It's just Swag. And unfortunately, Moose is still going to be on Cat. So Swag just plants right into his crosshairs. And that's an easy second shot for Moose. Is now 7-0 with the scoreline. Cloud9 is going to call for a pause.
Yeah, it looks like a pause is needed. I don't know what they could do versus the 2 ops. Maybe just put pressure on mid and then group up and do wall smokes B or like even smokes A. Just something together, grouped up, and trade the kills.
They've come so close so many times, and you can see this just by the fact that Rise Nation really don't have a whole lot of money built up right now. Moose and Ace have an okay amount. It's sitting at 7,991. But even Dazzle, who's only died twice in the entire game so far, is sitting at 1,350. Probably he's had to drop so often, to be completely honest, because of how close some of these rounds have been. It hasn't been like super dominant stances being taken by Rise. In fact, they haven't won a single round yet with all 5 players alive. It's always been, I'd say, an average of about 3 players looking at these rounds. It's a pretty quick pause from Cloud9, though. And we are already jumping back into the action here to see if they can finally pick up a round here and stop Rise from just running the gauntlet.
Looks like Tarek fakes the mid pressure and they're just gonna go for A smokes.
And Cloud9 are gonna be pressuring inside of there. Like he said, A smokes to cover off the site. There's actually not a whole lot of presence in the site because Rise put their focus back towards mid again. So Dazzle is going to be mainly just waiting for that smoke to fade away. He's not actually going to directly challenge the push inside. And VSA also attempting to spray through that as him and I think Junji changed positions. He's playing towards Ticket now. And Junji went over towards mid in this round specifically. So he's playing towards Connector now as he's rotated off of mid. They're still a little bit worried about players pushing in from mid, but there's no one there. They're all on the site. And VSA is going to get great evidence of that now as he picks up the double kill. Players pushing against him. The others are going to start to push their way back up to the site, but Swag catching one more. He's going to look for others. However, he's going to be taken down by Moose as he finds that frag. Potentially more for Moose to pick up here too, as there's still CTs, or Ts I should say, sitting way back up T-ramp. But now that it's just Tarek, he's going to be pushed away. Another very close call for Cloud9, but Rise Nation pull off the retake and put it up to 8-0.
Yeah, Cloud9 got in there, got the plant. It looked like there was a little miscommunication at spawn. It looked like Rush and Stu were trying to get a push into spawn, take it over. And it just looks like there was a miscommunication.
Ace, nicely done. Right up onto that jump up spot there. Was able to spot Stewie at the beginning there. Counters out the safety smoke too. And takes down Stewie right at the beginning. Continuing to pummel Cloud9 here, not giving them any room to maneuver at all. Now they're getting aggressive too. This is the other thing that I like to see from it. The guys on Rise Nation. They're getting a little bit more confident against Cloud9. The smoke actually is just barely stopping Ace from spotting Tarek. Look, he can see him there. He finally realizes it. Oh, and it's a good thing that Tarek messes up there too, as otherwise Ace would have easily been a dead man by now. Ace, such a casual peek though to finally move in and get that kill. But in the meantime, he's been smoked off and Cloud9 took control over the A bomb site. VSA sitting back over here behind the ticket booth. John Jeep still looking for a route to push back up onto the steps as well. They will have to wait for these smokes to fade before they go back in. They still have a man advantage. They pulled this off many times before. There's no reason to be worried yet on the Rise Nation roster. They've done this situation many, many times. So they're going to want to look to repeat that again. Skadoodle's going to get aggressive, though. Just jumps into the fight, but Moose, he's ready for that. Reacts so quickly. Skadoodle gets in his face, and he's ready with the op. Tries peek around the corner. Rush is going to trade that. Now he's into the open. Gets a second. Going for the third. Not going to happen. Down to Swag now, as he trades out for one more kill, trying to deny the defuse. Spraying into it. Runs out of ammo, though, and Ace gets the defuse inside of it. Another clutch play from him in the 1v1, and it saves yet another round for Rise.
Yeah, Rise almost fumbled that round. Ace looked like he couldn't find the bomb. At the very last second, he finds it and drops a flash while defusing, and Swag just cannot connect the spray through the smoke. He tagged him up at the end, it just wasn't enough.
So Cloud9 buy once again here. They do with that plan, and obviously the maximum losing bonus that they've been on for quite a few rounds now. They're able to get 4 AKs, the op on a Tarek, full utility as well. Quickly, we'll see Tarek pushing over into the apartments. He's going to look for that early entry kill if he can against Moose. And Moose, well, he might oblige him. Not peeking fully into it just yet. He doesn't want to do so, as Tarek is going to be there waiting for him on the primary op for Cloud9 right now. It's not Skadoodle picking it up, you'll note. Other than that, though, it's a stack from Cloud9 at the exit side of top mid there, right on the run up towards it. And Tarek, after not seeing much, eventually does back away from the fight. So Moose is going to be safe and okay to hold this position. Tarek specifically is going to back up. He'll go outside of the back halls there, and it looks like he's heading towards T spawn to group up with Swag. And actually, no, excuse me. It looks like he was just going to toss the window smoke. Yeah. Or the safety smoke, rather.
Trade weapons as well.
Now Ace is going to try to take that aggressive position, but the timing on it doesn't work out this time. Stewie not only gets revenge for how he died in the last round, but also takes down Dazzle too. And the rest of the team, they're going to start to move in. It's looking good for Cloud9 at the start here. Rise is going to have to attempt to pull off a 3v5. Cloud9 actually pulling away from mid, though, after they get great control there. For whatever reason, they don't feel confident to push through with 3 in connectors, so they're all going to fall back over here towards T-spawn and just head up on ramp. So a lot of pressure on VSA, as he's going to be the main point man to stop this. But no, they seem to think that they've gone into the back halls and are attempting to go for a sort of a B-split here. So VSA is going to completely rotate away, but he cancels it at the last second, and Moose is also going to run the other way. The problem is, though, is they already gave up the site. Cloud9's going to be walking right into it. They are taking it in a pretty slow way, but I highly doubt VSA can do much to stop this solo right now, especially with that molly there. He's got to be very careful. He does try to molly forward into the plant spot. They put a smoke on top of that, though. It burns out part of it. The opera over here, Moose, is going to try to peek in, too, but he's denied pretty quickly. Same can be said for VSA, because now it's just down to Junji in a 1v4, and there's nothing he can do. Finally, after 9 rounds straight for Rise, Cloud9 are going to find themselves on the board, and Junji even gets dropped, trying to run away with the op.
Yeah, it looked like Rise was just going to like stack a site and take the gamble, and then if there was nothing there, they should have just stacked it and saved. And even in that 3v5, they should have just saved their guns, because it's kind of hard to retake on a 3v5. I liked what C9 did, though. They regrouped, didn't go separate ways, and just used the firepower.
Well, with Rise still having the cash to buy in with, they'll get at least this one more buy. You'll note again, though, that despite the 9-round streak, this is the only real buy they're going to have. They're going to have to eco after this. Skadoodle already starting it off with a quick kill for himself, too. Takes down Ace. Dazzle there for the trade, though. He moves in, knocks out Rush. Moose is still here to support Dazzle, but Dazzle almost reacting in time to be able to pick up Stewie as well. Brings him down to 12 HP, but Stewie catches Dazzle by surprise and trades that kill back out, putting it into a 4v3, favored for Cloud9. Still pretty spread out from Cloud9 as they're still aligned into the default for T-side, and Stewie gonna try to make a move on his own. Was hoping he could catch what's normally been Moose in that position, but now it's Junji. He's gonna respond with a smoke toss out. Takes a little bit of damage from the spray volley out from Stewie there too, but only down to 56. So he's still in fighting shape. Should the Cloud9 roster decide to send its players in this direction? Not gonna be happening though, as they've been big fans of the A push, and they're once again gonna be swinging their players in that direction. Only VSA here to defend it too. Looks like Moose bit on the info that Junji got. Is now waiting in market for a hit to come in this direction. He's going to start rotating back. Timing of this is going to be kind of iffy. He really has to run quickly. And oh no, he's going over here towards the CT direction. So unfortunately, he's going to have a lot of trouble impacting as both Jonji or VSA and Moose are going to be stuck back here. Cloud9 has paid extra special attention to that in past rounds to try and handle it, but Moose somehow allowed to get away with a kill. Stewie patiently waiting at top boxes though, catches Jonji before he can successfully pull off that flank. Now these last two are really stuck over here. VSA and Moose both trying to look for any kills that they can get against Cloud9. But at the moment, it's not looking too bright as they push forward. Skadoodle, although he gets dinked, pulls off the kill into VSA. He can now safely retreat, and it's only Moose left alive here. Also, he's been dinked now too, and finally Tarek will finish it off. Cloud9 get a second round, and they're going to break the CT economy.
Yeah, Rise probably just going to go for a save here, and they could probably buy on the next round, because it'll be a 3 loss bonus. They'll have just enough for rifles, couple nades. Some people might ump and get extra utility usage.
Well, Cloud9 just... Oh my goodness, what is this?
Fastest round in history.
10 seconds. That has to be one of the fastest pro rounds ever played. I didn't even realize what was going on until it was too late. Well, Rise tried to challenge Cloud9 there by sending pretty much all 5 players to window, and yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to work when USPs try to challenge AKs and ops at that distance. The AKs will very much win, and they only traded back, I think, 1 kill out of that entire round. So there you go.
With the lead, Rise decides to just go with the half buy here, and it's not a bad call since they're up 9-3.
Yeah, they can still afford to drop a couple of these rounds. They definitely want to try to get it up to 10 or 11, though, with the way that that first map played out. I am a little bit worried for the second half right now on Rise if this snowballs in Cloud9's direction again. But it's all quiet across the map at the moment here, with neither team wanting to make a move early on in this round.
Miss smoke.
It's not going to be too big of a deal for Cloud9. It looks like they're falling back anyway. The smokes they're throwing out there, only a ruse. Actually, hold on now. They might be heading into B after all. Originally, it was looking like they were going to fall back to CT again. They are grouping up and getting ready for this push out towards the B bomb site. Moose will be waiting and watching for any cat pushes. But besides that, they only have Ace sitting in the back of the bomb site. It's just VSA and Connector, too, that can kind of help with this play, but other than that...
Stewie misses it as well.
Did he really? Oh, well, Cloud9 are going to try to push in now. Hopefully without that smoke, it's not going to be too big of a deal to get in their way, one would hope. Regardless, they've only got 20 seconds left to actually get into the site. Thankfully, they're going up against just a half buy from the Rise Nation side of things, but Ace, nice first kill from him. Moose now waiting over here down to get right spot. He picks up one. Terror coming in from Cat, trades it back out, though. Puts us down into a 2v2. However, what they may not realize, though, is that Jonji's sitting in this site right now. They need to support that. Good job by Skadoodle there, denying the denial of the plant. Making sure that they do take him down. So it's up to Dazzle here. He's going to be lurking in through apartments. They're not checking for that right now, so he can walk up, get himself an AK, arm himself pretty well. Skadoodle, again, not really looking towards it. He's picked that up. Oh, he's been spotted now, though, by Skadoodle. He doesn't realize there's a player below him either, but it's not even really needed. Skadoodle handles the last kill on his own, picks it up for Cloud9, and they're on a 4-round streak here as we head into the last 2 rounds of the half.
Yeah, they're making it costly, but like you said, it's the last 2 rounds of the half, so it doesn't really matter for C9's economy. And Rise goes for the double up because it was working on early on in the half.
Again, going to be, for the most part, players in the backbeat halls for Cloud9 early on here now that they're going up against the full buy from Rise again, including a double op setup. Ace has also been allowed to push all the way inside of Palace, so if he wants to get a bit more adventurous there and check the whole thing, he can realize again that there's very little presence towards this A-bomb site In fact, there's zero presence towards this A bomb site right now. That may change as Swag is sitting here solo with a bomb in hand, waiting for anyone that may push down the T ramp and trying to counter them out. Yeah, I just realized he had the bomb, so I think he tosses that away just to be safe. He's going to have another teammate come and grab it so they can start that B push that I believe they're going to go for again.
But Ace is clearing the A halls here with his op.
He's slowly pushing into it, and what's even better is if he sticks around, it is looking like Swag is going to push against him. So we'll see if he's ready for this. This will all come down to timing. Ace pushing back out, and there we go. Gets the kill on his Swag. He's happy with that. And a little fall back further into the site just to take up his normal position by ticket. Obviously seeing that might sound some alarms, however. And oh, Ace just missing what was the push back inside from Connector there. If he'd stayed scoped in for another minute or for another second or so, he might have been able to see those players coming up on top of the steps. But now Cloud9 push in, get quick control of both the outside of Connector at stairs and jungle. And they're going to try to hold this here so that the rest of their players can also push back in over on ramp. They have one more threat coming back in through Connector. It's quickly traded back out as Dazzle picks up the kill into Rush. But VSA finding more. Ace trying to push back in now to deny the push from jungle. He's going to get it. 2v1 left alive. Skadoodle trying to trade it back here as they fight next to each other. Skadoodle trying to wrap around his opponent there, Ace, but doesn't work out. And Ace just does some 360s on his corpse as Rise will take back control after a 4-round streak from Cloud9 and go 10-4, heading into the last round of the half.
Yeah, that double save paid off to get those two ops. Ace got aggressive in the A halls and caught Swag off guard, so that opened up the round for them.
And this last buy from Cloud9, still going to be a full buy. 4 AKs and the op still for Skadoodle. And specifically, it's going to be much heavier, much faster up towards mid. But look at this, it's an absolute massacre at the hands of both Moose and Dazzle. They rip the entire hit to shreds. And the last two now trying to push in. Swag gets the kill against Jonji, and he gets the second kill as well, despite the low HP. Nicely held by Swag at the very least to get into the site and bring this down to a 2v3. The heavy lifting is once again going to have to be done by Skadoodle, though, as he gets pushed on from Cat. Doesn't realize it's coming in, but down at 5 HP, hits the first kill, goes down to the second. Now it's down to Swag alone in a 1v2 with that 11 HP. He's already got 2 before. And he's going to have to find 2 more. VSA and the others pushing against him, just plastered on top of that default plant spot right now, trying to hold on to his life. Lines it up, but can't get the kill quickly enough. VSA will win it out against him, and with that, Rise will shoot ahead 11-4 at the end of the first half.
Yeah, well done by Moose and Dazzle shutting down that Cat split.
And so, guys, second half coming up here in a moment. Cloud9 kind of needing that pistol to get themselves back into the match here. 11-4, a very divisive scoreline. If Rise win it, they're going to easily shoot up to 14-4, assuming, of course, they don't get eco in the second round. And for Cloud9, well, if they win this one, we're right back into a close game, as they should be able to take it right up to 7 there, which would be only 4 rounds difference behind Rise. Let's get into it, guys. The match is live now, and we'll get to see, can Rise complete this, what has been, for the most part, domination here on the second map, or is it going to be Cloud9 going back into their own dominating form that we saw back on Cobblestone, but has kind of gone missing here for most of this map, with the exception of those 4 rounds.
Kit smoke on Skadoodle as well, so they do have a kit on the CT side.
Rise is going to go for a big 5-man push into the apartments, but look, Cloud9 has a double stack in here. They know it's coming. Tarek just peeks it as well. Goes in, finds Dazzle. Already knocking out one member of Rise. That took some balls from Tarek, but Stewie sitting back. They thought that Dazzle was going to be the only one sitting up inside there. It's not the case, and now more of them trying to push back out. It's down to Ace. He goes down so quickly. And Cloud9 take fast control over the second half pistol.
Yeah, that was a good bait and switch by Tarek and Stewie there. Tarek goes aggressive, gets early pick, and just knows that if he falls back bench, he's setting up Stewie to get at least 1. So that was well played by them, and they just have some raw skill.
Three CZs from Rise coming in on this force, and Ace, beautiful flick on the Skadoodle, just deleting him right at the start of the round there as he tried to contest in mid. So that is going to be, for the most part, an open mid. Swag does move out from the B bomb set to try and help this a little bit. Great nade, too. Jonji losing almost half of his health from that one, and Dazzle also getting tagged for about 15. So it does just over about 60 damage off of that one. Dazzle, though, he's able to find Rush, but it's a quick trade from Swag, as he seems to be the one that has to put out all these fires for Cloud9 in this map so far. But he's been doing a pretty good job of that. Still, a 4v3 disadvantage to Cloud9.
Stewie's pushed A ramp, but Moose is in the halls.
So everyone from Rise sits securely inside of either the apartments or outside in the palace right now, where Moose is pushed out, found an open A bomb site. Now this is where things could get very interesting, because right now Moose could call for them to wrap back over here since the site's open. He could also just say, no, go ahead, I'm going to flank. But if he flanks, then he has a counter flank already working against them. The thing is, though, is the Stewie doesn't necessarily know that Moose is back over here in CT just yet. So this is going to be, there's a lot of possibilities of what could happen. Depending
So he's going to call A is clear, and then they're just going to go rotate B, most likely.
So
Waiting on Moose.
Swag's looking for him, though, so Swag catches it. Probably thought he came through mid, though. So he's not going to be too alarmed about that one. And now the rest of Rise, well, they're going to start to push up into the B site, but Tarek already catching one. That's the bomb, too. Gets the second. And what was almost a nice upset from Rise does not end up happening. Cloud9 close out the round and go 6-11.
Yeah, and with that force, they should be saving here to buy on the next round. One flash would be a save, probably like a pop flash out of A or maybe B. It's looking like a waterfall out halls to get the bomb down.
And they're going to go up pretty quickly here, too. Just quietly getting themselves through Palace, and as soon as they get to the threshold, imagining VSA just going to pop flash for them, and then they'll all rush in. Oh, Smoke just got in their way, though, but I don't think they're going to mind that too much. Yeah, they're going to push out anyway, but Stewie's here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Easy for Stewie. No problem whatsoever. Just VSA sitting alive here in the back. Stewie, oh, he wanted that ace so bad. But he ran out of ammo, so Rush took it from him.
No op on the Rise side, so I'm assuming just a default or maybe like a quick A wall smokes.
I don't think they got really enough going there to be able to afford it. No plants or anything like that, so they would have had the glass cannon by it more than likely, if they even had enough.
Like a default.
Ace is out quickly on mid. Doesn't realize Tarek's pushed up yet. Tarek's still in a safe spot to get on that second wall, but oh, just barely peeks it out of the corner there. He's able to get one kill, quickly fall back behind the molly, get himself to safety. Skadoodle catching another one back over there as he aggressively pushes inside of Palace too. So already Rise losing so many players now. And this is what I was worried about. This is the problem here for Rise, is that they are a little bit undisciplined. So the problem is they're not necessarily expecting these crazy plays to show up from Cloud9's players, because this is what's so good about this new roster, is they do have basically, even with the stand-in right now, even if you switch Swag for out for automatic again on the primary roster, the same principle still holds in that all five
a lot
of
of
these
playmakers
could just bust out at any time and have some crazy
Stewie's
play.
making a play right now. He's flanking the top mid.
Unfortunately, it doesn't go too well, as it is spotted by VSA right when he makes the peak. So he catches that one. Was actually, I think, watching out for something like that so that his teammates could cleanly get up the boost here. And now Jonji's got himself in window room. He's going to get ready to sneak over here towards the rat hole, too. I think he saw the leg of Tarek, so he knows someone's out there. He doesn't want to take the risk on directly peeking it, because Tarek's already ready for it. Tarek knows he probably won't go for it either, but the problem is now, dazzling the other three, they push themselves out. Skadoodle trades on the one. He's got two more stuck up against the wall. Gets the second. Close up, though. He'll go down to Jonji, but Tarek arrives just in time to save the day. Takes down Jonji, prevents any further action from happening against Cloud9 there, and secures the 8th round for them.
That was a nice entry by Skadoodle, and then he got the 3K to finish the round. Like a half buy from Rise.
Yeah, still looking to save up for that next gun round here. They still have a small lead, of course, but I'm imagining in the next round or two, they might actually end up taking a pause themselves since they're falling behind so drastically here. Tarek already ready for this push to come through the apartments here. The smoke's in the way. However, I think Rise is just going to push past that anyway, so Tarek's going to have a chance to multi-frag right there. Jumping in, gets one, gets two, tries to go for the third, but finally dead on the ground against Ace. Now it's Swag's turn to frag out here. There's a molly in the way, so Rise is being held up, and they can't really afford to stop her. They kind of have to go through that molly. They just let Cloud9 rotate, so now they're stuck here. Ace getting one nice deagle shot. He goes down to Stewie. Swag through the paneling takes out VSA, and then he also finds Moose, too, once he tries to push back out. It's a quick, easy round for Cloud9. Just 2 away from the tie now.
And Ace getting his first off of the half, I'm pretty sure. So let's see if we can do something with it.
Yeah, the money's in too tight before. Now they're finally going to get a chance to work with it. If this round goes poorly, though, Rise are definitely going to have to take a pause and figure out what's going wrong. That would be the 7-0 mark. And that's where they took the pause on the last map, if I recall correctly, too. Cloud9 still splitting their players up evenly. They're not going to try to do anything crazy here. Just Swag underneath the platform. Skadoodle in window. He misses that first initial shot, but Molly takes down Dazzle. Ace is there for the response. It's going to knock him out. So down goes the Opera from the CT side. Next up is Rush, waiting over here by Connector. There is a smoke at the bottom part, so someone like Jonji's not going to be able to push in. However, Ace can test his luck against Rush and see if he'd be able to take him out. There's another peek in the back, too, but it took Ace too long to realize that he was there and actually out in the open. So Rush is actually going to be allowed to fight against Jonesy as now he pushes back in. Great distraction from Swag, taking out Moose there. And now Jonesy, when he moves in, he's able to take down Rush, bringing it back down into a 3v3. Jonesy continues that fight, pushing forward. And VSA also picks up a kill. So just Tarek now back at CT. Realistically, it's going to be tough for him to try and clutch this 1v3, but he's going to go for it regardless. Quickly knocks out Jonesy. He's thinking about it. He's going back and forth right now between the safe position and actually up to the site. There's nobody peeking for him at the original angles, though. It's going to be one at steps and one behind the triple that you can already see on your screen. It's VSA in the back there. Yeah, and he doesn't check the steps, so Ace just sits at the bottom. Gets that nice easy kill to close out, and Rise do maintain their lead as they pick up their first round here after 5 straight for Cloud9.
Yeah, Rise is going for a fast connector split, but they missed their window smoke, so I think Ska got the entry. And then at connector, Rush got distracted by the Halls guide. He decided to turn on the stairs, and that's when someone flanked with the connector. But nice round by Rise.
And with even just this one lost round from Cloud9, again, very similar situation to what happened with Rise, obviously to a much lesser degree. But Cloud9, again, never really building up an economy here, so after this round, they're already going to be running on empty. A total of like $300 or $350 for the entire team is left over on all 5 players right now. So they do not have anything going into that next round if they drop this, and at most they're going to be looking at P250 buys. It's a big stack from Rise too, trying to force their way out onto B. Tarek's already been tested here. Normally he's a little bit more forward with his positioning though, and it kind of surprises the Rise roster. This time it won't necessarily be the case. He's going to hide, actually, Tarek is. I think they're going to try to play together. Yep, Swag just spotted it. Calls it to Tarek, but Tarek just gets destroyed by Jonesy on the way in. Now it's Swag's turn to fight, but he can only get one. Moose, however, accidentally knocks out Ace in the process, so it's still an even trade at the end of the day. Rush here inside of Market. Stewie went way too aggressively out onto the side, so he got taken down by VSA. The advantage went back into the control of Rise after that kill. Has now left us down to a 2v3. There's no real utility left on either Rush or Skadoodle either. So they don't have a great way to get out and fight here. Skadoodle peeks, doesn't expect to find a player peeking him there, and Rush in the open suffers the same fate. Great round from Jonesy, closing out on those last couple kills and destroying Tarek in the corner. Great pre-fire to knock him out. Secures the 13th round for Rise.
Yeah, they were super aware of Tarek being on that platform. I think the reason they were aware is because on Pistol they tried that same setup and it worked for them, so they weren't going to let that mistake happen again. With that though, C9's on a break. Full save here and buy next.
Yep, will probably be the plan. And Rise themselves are getting ready to finally change up the game plan a little bit after these consistent B pushes have been kind of hit or miss. But sneaking up nice and slowly here onto the site. Molly to push Stewie out. It's actually going to go down. They actually think they double molled it. May have been a bit unnecessary. But jumping back downstairs anyway, they're still cleaning up shop pretty quickly. The 3rd kill up on the board already for them. Just 2 remaining. One's going to try to push in over here by Connector. He gets knocked out by Dazzle. And it's only Tarek now left alive. 1v5 trying to crouch up. It takes him a moment, but he gets the kill on Dazzle. However, that's going to be it. VSA trades him out a moment later. And Rise up at 14, just 2 away now from map victory. And sending this over to a 3rd and final map on Inferno.
And with a 3 loss bonus, they're not going to be able to afford a not, but they have 5 rifles. Limited nades, no Molotovs on the C9 side. Looks like some sort of cat aggression here.
Ace is also going to be moving on his own over here towards the top side while Stewie sits down below. He's actually going to transition to the top corner, though, once he sees the smoke getting popped off and he sees all these nades moving in. He knows it's going to be a play for this site. Tries to spray into it, but now he's giving away his position. He's stuck here. He's going to be completely surrounded. There's smokes covering off the rest of the site. VSA even burns out Rush somewhere else on the map. Skadoodle's the only one that's gotten a trade so far. Tarek and Swag just trying to spray in through Cat there, but they're completely boxed out of the site as they were playing into B. So there's not a whole lot that can be done. It's a 2v4. I mean, Rise just had to use their basic utility as well, so they still have flashes and other nades sitting on Ace. It's not really winnable, so Cloud9 are going to back up and save and let Rise go up to round number 15.
Yeah, I like that call by Rise. I knew that they had all full nades on their side, so they're just going to use them to their advantage. They're going to molly out Sandwich, molly out under Balk, and force C9 into an awkward situation.
Tarek against Swag, really trying to find some of these kills here because they know they're going to get pushed by Rise. But no one getting close enough just yet. Swag is going to help against Janji. Beats him out there. Moose, however, takes him down, so only that one rifle on Tarek ends up getting saved as Swag will find himself eliminated. And Cloud9 almost at 6 rounds behind Rise. They need to win all 6 of these straight now, otherwise the map goes to Rise. And we head over to Inferno. Rush, actually, as well, really struggling in this map compared to the previous one, where he was one of the top rankers in the team, and consistently at that, too. Right now, he's sitting down at 8 and 20, almost half of the next highest teammate, which is Tarek at 15 and 15.
Yeah, and it looks like they're going for the same strat here.
Worked last time, and Cloud9's going to be on an even worse buy now. They do still have a semi-decent buy here, as they've been able to force into it with 4 rifles. Just Stewie going to be on a CZ. He's playing close up, but he gets instantly wrecked by Junji on the entry there. Skadil's able to trade a trip stack, but he's going to be pushed up now, taken down by Dazzle. Rush doing great damage to one player and knocking out another, but he'll be traded by Moose. And now this goes down to a 3v2. Once again, Swag and Tarek trying to clutch this back out for the Cloud9 roster. Swag is going to be making the push forward around the corner. Tarek specifically stuck inside of jungle here, though, so he's actually going to back up, group up with Swag, and see if they can make a push back into this site from CT somehow. Nice that setup. There's still smoke in the way here, too. And Swag just trying to nade the corner. No one's there. No one's waiting for them, so that nade goes to waste. As they push back in, goodbye to Tarek very quickly. Swag tries to hold on, but the molly burning around him. It's not going to happen, guys. Rise Nation takes quick control of map number 2. And with that, guys, it will go all the way to a 3rd and final map on Inferno. And it's going to be a good one, as we have 2 players that have already shown themselves to be incredibly proficient site players. Tarek obviously had his performance earlier today, and VSA as well. It's going to be a matchup to watch. So stick with us, guys. We'll be coming back in just a few minutes with the final map of the tournament.